Hello, and we are in the presence of the General Overseer of the
Living Word of Jesus Christ.
Located where, sir?
In Disfield, Carway, Disfield, Pamfan.
Welcome, sir.
You're welcome.
So tell me now, what do you actually do here as you speak, sir?
God has filled the church with His grace, and people, the mental patients, are really receiving healing. But what the problem we have now is about how we can be able to maintain. That's the problem we have on the ground now.
How many patients do you receive on a daily basis, sir?
Really, because we have no support, we don't want to get plenty of patients.
Okay.
But we can get them sometime a week, two person a week. Yes.
What are some of the conditions you do come across?
Mentally derailed. Mentally.
How severe?
Yeah, sometimes they are in the street. We take them from the street and come and work. As you get in the church, you will see they are there now, and we're treating them.
In terms of support, where are you getting support from?
Actually, that the family, sometimes the family bring a little thing, sometimes half bag of rice. We use that for 2 weeks to feed them. That's all.
Apart from that, you do not have any other support?
No other support. It's just from the family themselves.
So where do you keep them?
They are in the church. Right now, they are in the church. When we're having service, we carry them to the trade school room. After that, then we bring them in the church, start to pray for them, and they are actually responding. Like last month, we have about 14. And the 14, 9 got well. So right now, we have 8 here. We have 6 here. Yeah.
6?
Yeah.
I'm seeing most of the patients being chained. Why are you chaining them, sir?
We put chain on them so that there will not be no fan around here now. If you don't put chain on them, they might walk in the night and go to a different area.
Okay.
Here it's not too safe. Okay. Yeah, but we will have fan around the church. We got no cause to put chain on them. Wow. So in the evening, we change them so that they will not be able to go out. That's the meeting.
But I saw some of them walking around with chain.
Yes.
To their trousers and on their feet.
Yeah.
Into their foot, rather.
Yeah. Now what happens? People who have gone through the process, who have gone through the first process, you can't just take the chain out of them. When you take the chain from them, what will happen is that they will run away. So you put the chain, somebody is there, like God, Jeremiah, I have the other boy, Theophilo, to watch them while they are there. Sometimes they take running race out of the compound. But when the chain are on them, they will be afraid to get out.
How long do you keep a patient here, sir?
Really, it's about 1 month, 2 weeks. Sometimes 2 months maximum.
In terms of medication, what do you give to them for their healing process?
Yeah. We have the anointing oil here. We have anointing oil, and sometimes we have water that is consecrated. We anoint them and prepare that water and give to them. You see that they will be vomiting with the drugs, and they become normal.
I also learned that you also make them to inhale some incense. Is that?
Yes. The incense is in the water. Okay. They can drink some, then they inhale some.
So why are they inhaling the incense, sir?
Yeah, because what can happen is that whenever they are not mentally sound, when they are not sound, when you put the incense in their nose, they will be sound, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, they can get sound.
For how long now you've been treating individuals with mental disorders?
From 1992, from Benson Street at the Three Brother Ministry of Faith.
And how has it been going?
Oh yeah, well, we got people. Even the man who was taking care of them, he too was like that. He was victim of that, but now he began a great process.
We have criteria at the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health has criteria. Even the mental health service has a criteria. So for the Ministry of Health, if an organization or an institution want to open or have these services for a particular health program, for example, we are talking about mental health now, you come at a mental health unit and then we direct you to a specific department within Ministry of Health. That department is called Extended Aid. They have the criteria set, a guideline as to what they are looking for. They start the initial process. For any organization or any entity that want to start Extended Aid, start the process in terms of what are those criteria that needed to be the first preliminary process. After that, when they are satisfied, then they turn you over to the office, that is the mental health office. So if an organization comes to us, we turn you over to extended aid, and extended aid will have few days to go through whatever document they want, and when they are satisfied, they take you back to the mental health unit. Within that time, we use the time to see how best we can visit your office, visit the place that you want to open, and all the program. So for us, we're looking at the health aspect, specialized area. So there are criteria set, there are SOP or guidelines for those.
So in the area, in a case where a particular institution do not meet the criteria set at the ministry and is going ahead treating people with mental disorder, what do you do in that case?
If we notice from our assessment, according to the guidelines that we have, if you will not meet the criteria set, we will do a recommendation, because everything, whether you meet the criteria or not, we will still recommend. We'll have to recommend to the minister that this entity, yes, they have going through all of what they want to do, and according to this guidelines, they have met with the guideline, or they are not in line with the guideline. But we'll do a recommendation for that before they can go ahead. We had an incident sometime last year, 2017, a church entity somewhere around Fiamma that started or wanted to start treatment for substance abuse, and at least they came to the Ministry of Health, and from there we went to the same extended aid, realizing that they were not in line with what the ministry says. So we have to guide them. We cannot really stop you, but we guide you and give some recommendation to the Ministry of Health. And based on, if you are really serious and you have the passion, you want to provide treatment for these people, you go by what the Ministry of Health says, and they will work along with you.
Okay, a bush chicken investigation has established that a faith-based church located in the Caldwell area, specifically in Dixville, is caring for mental patients, and those patients are in chain. Is it illegal for patients to be chained when they are being cared for, so to speak?
Yes, it's illegal, because for you just said that a church, and what we've been working with churches that are providing services for mental health person or someone with substance abuse, and what we notice from them is that they believe that this person got some kind of demon or spirit in them, and then they tie them to the wall, tie them to the log or chain, and they are there for days, for weeks, hours, where their legs are getting swollen. And these are those practices. Now we don't go by those practices, because scientifically and for best evidence-based practice, we don't do that. So it's wrong, as you said. The question is, yes, it's wrong. So we don't do that. So
in this case, what do you do immediately?
With those conditions where people, churches, and other organizations chain you to a law or chain you somewhere else, and as I said earlier, we work with you to educate you, and you will get to understand what is the best way to do it, because you will not just tie this person feet that with this treatment the evil spirit will come out without giving medication and just prayer. We work with you as a ministry. That's why we have trained a lot of mental health clinicians. We have trained substance abuse officers who are specializing in these areas. So if it's possible, we even assign these people to you to go through some capacity building process so that you cannot treat these people. We have graduated from that stage since we have Catherine Mill those days. I know that it's still happening sometimes, as you said, we're in Monrovia, even in the rural part of Liberia. But if it comes to the Ministry of Health attention, as a ministry, we work with you to go through what is the best practice.
Following the bush chicken investigation, do you have any plan of visiting the facility to see the condition of the patients?
Yes.
How soon?
And I'm happy that Bush Chicken has so much interest in mental health, and we're going from place to place and talking with people, and even the very Ministry of Health, making sure that we take mental health as a priority. So I'm happy that you've come up with that. So with this information coming to the Ministry of Health, we will definitely take a visit. I cannot tell you tomorrow or today, but I'm sure that I will inform my bosses that the French secretary will get to know. Even Mrs. George Shema will inform them about what is happening, and then we'll take a visit there.
We know, according to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, that it is illegal to chain or to maltreat persons with mental illness just based on their mental health condition. It is illegal. The UNCRPD, which is the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, is an international convention, and it is law in countries that are part of the United Nations. So the convention says that persons with mental health conditions should not be denied their liberty solely based on their condition. We know that chaining persons with mental health condition, it is not in concert with human rights. Persons with mental health conditions, if they needed to be restrained, it is usually restraint through chemical restraint, which means through medicine, but not physically restrained, and certainly not chained.
In a case where the family is aware, because I met some family at the facility, and they actually saw their relatives in chains.
So family members often feel like they have no other recourse when they're dealing with someone with mental health conditions whose condition or illness is so exacerbated that they are beyond control. The issue then is to involve a mental health practitioner to work with that person so that that person can regain their ability to live and to be functional. So the issue is that if a family member feels so desperate that they need to chain in order to restrain a loved one, the important thing is to connect with the county health authority that have mental health specialists that can work with that family to bring that person into treatment. Once that person is in treatment, they no longer need to be chemically or physically restrained. But we know that according to the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, physical restraints that involve chaining is considered not only not best practice, not good practice, it's harmful, and it is illegal.
Thank you.
Well, I am the leader for those who are living in recovery from mental illness, and I do advocacy, and I also work with the leadership to strengthen the leadership, and part of my responsibility is to train people so that they will be able to develop their recovery capital. And by recovery capital, we mean what you can look back to in your recovery time so that you won't have relapse. And that's why we train people to be able to work with their hands, because mental illness in recovery has a lot of stigma. And so if you are able to do some work where you can help to sustain yourself and your family, then the possibility of relapse will be minimized. So that's where I work.
So now that the Bush Chicken has been able to establish through its investigation that some mentally ill persons at a faith-based church in Caldwell are being chained. And you, as a president for this organization, what do you make of the news?
Well, it's disheartening to hear that, but I'm going to dispatch some from our leadership so that we will go investigate ourselves, so that we'll find out the authenticity of this pronouncement, and if it is true, we'll take an issue with it.
But do you think that patients who are being cared for should be placed on chain?
Definitely, it is inhumane to have people on chain at a treatment center just because they are there as people living with mental illness. So it's not right for them to be having them in chain.
You as a person, experience some sort of mental illness in the past. Am I right?
Yes, I experienced mental challenges in the past when I was very young, and I've lived as in recovery for many years, and I know this is wrong because I suffered it in the past myself.
Were you chained?
I was chained.
Why were you then being chained at the time?
Well, I was chained during that time to keep me away from others and keep me from harming myself. I was chained by my family. So I have experienced being chained before.
So what were some of the things you actually remember when you were being chained at the time?
Well, when I experienced mental challenges and was actually in crisis, my parents allowed me to be chained at home so that I won't take the street, because some of the problem people who face mental challenges is that during that time of crisis they don't sit at home. They move from place to place, and coming back is a problem. And so for this reason, I was chained that time. Okay, but in treatment center for people to be living continuously in chain is problematic. Okay, so I wouldn't like to hear, even at home or at the treatment center or faith-based place, that people are being chained against their own will.
If your investigation established that the patients are in chain, what will be your next course of action?
Well, I'm going to face the authority and tell them this is not right. And I will tell them, as president for cultivation of Users Hope, I will introduce myself that I've been through the same thing these people are passing through, and it's not right. Can you change your mode of treatment of people living with mental illness?
Thank you, sir.